with big snakes comes big boops. Whoa, look at the size of that. That thing is ginormous. That is a massive jobby. What's up all you cool snakes and neonates, how's it going? I hope you're all keeping well. So, recently someone asked in one of the comments of one of the YouTube videos, can you show me all your largest snakes? Who doesn't love a large snake? Who doesn't love big snakes? So let's get some of these largest snakes out. It's a beautiful day outside, so let's get some of the snakes out in the sunshine. So the first of the large snakes, and my utmost favourite animal in the house, Mordecai here, the Suriname Redtail. Yes, hello my handsome man. So this is a Redtail Boa, a true Redtail Boa. Scientific name is Boa constrictor. He's about the smallest of the large snakes at the moment. So this is a male, so males can get to about 7 or 8 foot long. He's currently about the 6 foot mark, I think. He is breeding ready. He is going to get a little bit bigger, but not much bigger than this. So he's not a giant snake by any means, but he's still quite large and he's a very powerful animal. He's a wonderful example of the species of Suriname or of Redtail. He is a beautiful textbook animal. He is one of my favourites amongst the collection, and that is just purely because of his calm demeanour. He almost seems to enjoy being around you. Sometimes you'll tickle his head and he'll raise his head up into you. He's an absolute gentleman. He's a lovely animal. Is Mordecai here. Suriname Redtail, wherever he's deciding to go. And I've just had a look at one of the big snakes, and of course, with big snakes comes big boops. Whoa, look at the size of that. That thing is ginormous. That is a massive jobby. And this is the owner of that giant boop, Roland, our male Dominos Boa from Madagascar. Dominos Boas, or males, can get to about 5-6 foot. They aren't a terribly big boa. He's currently fully grown at about that 5-6 foot mark, is our Roland here. Definitely one of the most stunning. He actually, funnily enough, has the largest head of any of the snakes we have, even larger than Hunter, the Burmese Python. This guy's got a giant head on him. It's huge. Got a big block head on him. He's a big friendly lump, is our Roland. He's actually in a bit of a funny mood today. These guys are very tense, strong snakes, the Dominos Boas. Extremely strong. I've never met anything like them. They're just so muscular and always use that strength. That's why I never really put him around my neck, because he can hold on quite tightly, you know. Next up we have our big old boy Marley here. This is our common boa, our Boa imperator. These guys get to about 6-7 foot fully grown, or the males get to about 6-7 foot fully grown here. Females get to about maybe 8-9 foot if you're lucky, usually around about the 7 or 8 foot mark if they're properly fed and not power fed. This boy is a big, watch yourself, this is a big, beautiful, handsome man. I've had him for about 13 years plus. He is an old man and he is an absolute wonderful boy. Let's go and check out his iridescence in the sun.
Now, when I point out to some people on the internet that what they think is a redtail is actually a common boa, they get all antsy about it. And I don't understand it, because look at the iridescence of this snake right here. When people come round to my house, this common boa gets more attention than my actual redtail boa. When people come round and see his iridescence underneath the UV light, they are just gobsmacked. And you can see why right here. I mean, look at this animal. He is gorgeous in that UV with that iridescence. The sunlight reflecting off the keratin in his scales. He's just stunning, man. Common boa is definitely not something to be ashamed of owning, that's for sure.
So before we get on to that last big and beautiful animal, you guys know who it's going to be if you're regulars of the channel. If you're new to the channel, get subscribing and wait till the end and check out this beautiful big man. Next up though, we're going to do some honorary mentions. Most of the animals in this channel, or a few of the animals in this channel, are not fully grown yet. So these honorary mentions are not animals that are necessarily big right now, but they're going to get pretty big when they're fully grown, or they're big in terms of their species. So this is Lilith, our female Dominos Boa. You met Roland, her boyfriend, earlier. This is Lilith. Now, a lot of snakes, or majority of snakes, not all, are sexually dimorphic, meaning there's a difference between males and females, and that includes size. So males are usually smaller than the females, especially in boas and pythons. The females are normally always bigger. So Roland there was about 5-6 foot, fully grown. This girl can get to about 8 foot long. The boas, the female boas, are a lot bigger, a lot chunkier, and whether you're talking about Dominos boas or whatever, they're a lot bigger. So this is Lilith. She's only about 4 foot just now, but she'll get to double this size and probably about triple the thickness too. She's another sweetheart here. She's an animal ambassador used for educational stuff at schools and things like that. Hello, sweetheart. She's an absolute wonderful snake. She's just shed and she's just away to be fed today. So let's pop her back in and get on with the next animal. So next up is this little gem. This is Ruby, our Suriname Redtail Boa. These guys are one of the largest species of boa you can get, other than, of course, the anaconda that I know of. This is a Suriname. I suspect she might be hit with Peruvian, but we're just going to go with Suriname just now because that's what she was sold as. So the female redtails, this is the girlfriend to our boy Mordecai we met earlier. The female redtails can get to about 10 foot long. There have been recorded Peruvian redtails at 13 foot long, the thickness and the shape of a loaf of bread. So this tiny little worm here could get massive and very heavy when she is fully grown. Yes, you are. You could get very heavy, yes. So this is Ruby, the female Suriname Redtail Boa. She's beautiful. Next up in our soon-to-be large snakes, Shelby here, the false water cobra. There's a colobrid made it onto this group. Yes, there is. These guys get to, on average, the females get to about 6 or 7 foot. There have been a couple reported at 9 foot long. A 9 foot long colobrid, that's mental. That puts these guys up there with some of the biggest colobrids. They are wonderful animals. Their growth rate is ridiculous. Like how fast she grows is absolutely crazy. I've never met anything like it for growth. We do have a male as well, but they're not that large really. They're usually about 5 or 6 foot in that sort of range. But yeah, these guys can be a massive colobrid. Very intelligent snakes and very awesome to work with. So cool. So beautiful too. So that's all the honorary mentions. Let's go have a look at that largest snake we have, and he's not even fully grown. He's about halfway there. And last but not least, well, last but the biggest is Hunter, the Burmese Python. Now bear in mind, some of these animals I've shown you are not fully grown. Hunter here isn't fully grown. He's currently about 9 foot. I think he's over the 9 foot mark. Males have been known to get to 16 foot, although on average they usually get to about 13, 14 foot long. They are a giant snake, just missing out on that top spot from the reticulated python of a few feet. Females have been known to get up to 18 foot long. I've even heard of 20 foot females. That's a big snake right there. Hunter here is already getting a handful at 9, 10 foot long. He is a big snake. Only just handleable by myself at this size. He's a large boy. He's absolutely stunning. And a big marshmallow to go with. See him thinking there. We're going to redo some of our old videos very soon. I'm going to redo the snake sizing up people video very soon. We're going to do that with Hunter here, now that he's got a bit of size to him there, you know. He's a beautiful big boy. So these guys come from Southeast Asia. They share their territory with likes of reticulated pythons, king cobras and all that kind of stuff. All the good stuff comes from Southeast Asia, basically. All of your most awesome animals, or some of your most awesome animals anyway. It's a real shame where they come from in Southeast Asia. They're actually being hunted towards the endangered list. There's a few places that are protected now. They're being hunted for that beautiful skin. That gorgeous pattern there is what's used for snake boots and belts, buckles and all that kind of rubbish. The skin belongs on this snake, guys, not on us. But he's handsome. Let's go get some shots of him in the sun. Now, even though big snakes are cool, no doubt about it, they're awesome. Who doesn't love a big snake? They aren't actually for everyone. And what I mean by that is, although they are cheap to buy, they're not cheap to keep. You buy them as babies and think, oh, it's great, and then they get to big monsters and then it becomes a problem. There are also people that keep big snakes for the wrong reasons. They want to go down to the pub and say, go to their mates and everything like, oh, I've got a giant snake at home, you know. And the problem is, once everyone knows you've got a giant snake at home, the novelty wears off and you won't get the attention you're looking for. If you're keeping a big snake for the sake of keeping a big snake, for bragging rights, for anything other than marveling at that awesome, amazing animal, you're keeping it for the wrong reason, and the novelty is going to wear off pretty quickly. So sometimes you're better just going to zoos, going to friends' collections and looking at their giant snakes if they have the space for them, things like that. There are a lot of responsibilities and thought that has to go into owning a large snake. It's a good idea to often, when you have snakes about hunter size here, to have a friend with you or a family member or a girlfriend, something like that, to keep an eye on you in case anything goes wrong. You have someone there to help you out, because at the end of the day, these giant pythons, these giant snakes are often apex predators where they come from. And if something goes wrong, you could find yourself in real trouble. So big snakes are awesome, but they are also not for the faint-hearted and definitely not for the novice keeper. If you're hell-bent on getting one, I would recommend trying out different species and giving it time. Don't have a royal python for a year and think, right, I'm ready for a Burmese and going for it. Give yourself some time to get to know different species, get to know larger snakes, watch your snake that you currently have grow and get used to it and handling it and reading it and all that kind of stuff before you jump into owning a big snake like Hunter here. That being said, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. As always, like, subscribe, comment, share the channel around. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscription button. We're trying to get to the 1,000 mark this year. I'm not sure if we're going to do it. We can't do it without your guys' help. So we need you guys to hit that subscription button. If you want to donate, there's a PayPal link in the description below. You don't have to subscribe to anything. You don't have to make monthly payments. You can just make a one-off payment at the donation in the bottom. It sure would help, guys, especially in the upkeep of these awesome, amazing animals that we have here. So thank you very much for tuning in. Share the channel around. For me, Hunter, the rest of the gang here, take it easy, guys. Peace.
I'm done. I'm done.